Hello guys, I make an update for my build because there was a lot of change since my last video. So I will first start by showing you all the upgrades, because if you saw the first video you will not have to see all this video, so that's better. So first I will show you what I did. You will just have to watch this chapter and you will be okay for upgrade the build. So first, for the bossing part, there is this new gem, Garrican's Resolve. What it does, it's if you have 100% crit chance, your critical damage bonus will double. To see if you have enough crit chance, you put sacrifice and you consume your minions. So now you have charges, and you can see here if you have enough. Here I am 100% critically chance, so that's good. And I will have double my critical damage bonus. So now for bossing we take Ataluy's Bloodletting, Garrucan's Resolve, Ambrosia, Momentum, and Overextend. For mapping, I changed something. I didn't use Overextend now because I have enough DPS. I can use Hit and Run. I think this is very important to take it for mapping. I didn't show it you before, but I think you have to take it. If you don't have enough DPS to take it instead of DPS support gem, take it instead of this one, 18 charges, because hit and run is more important. What do hit and run? It gives you 40% more skill speed. I will show you in the demo after, but it's so much important because when you do a flicker strike, sometimes you are just ending the flicker strikes and you're surrounded by a lot of monsters, and when you're in this case, the best way to survive is just to launch another flicker strikes. And if you don't have this, you have 40% less skill speed, and the time for launching the flicker strikes, it's maybe half a second, but during this time you can be stunned and you can die. So with hit and run now it's barely instant, and you can quickly launch another flicker strikes and go out of this hard situation. So hit and run is very important. After I changed the support gem on Skeletal Warrior, I put this one, Brutus Brain. With this gem we don't need anymore the other one because our minion will not do damage. We don't want that, but what we want is minion cannot be damaged, and this is insane because when we are bossing, our minion will go on the boss, and if we don't have this one, they will die. And by taking this gem, our minion will never die, and we can always consume them, because sometimes if the boss have multiple phases, you will just have to wait them to revive because they are dead from the boss. So this gem is very cool. After, for the support gems, there is Overabundance 1, which is intended to be less better because you have less skill duration, but in reality it's better for us. We use Overabundance because of the skill reduction time. So this is 50% instead of 40 before. So we have Overabundance 1 here and here in Reaper Invocation. So change the one, it was Overabundance 2, change by Overabundance 1 here and here. So the skill will be a little bit faster and it's better. Finally, I just have a perfect jewel, so I put Overreach here. It will increase area of effect, and that's perfect for us. For elemental weakness, just remove all the gem we had before because it caused the curse to be 50% less longer. So instead to have a curse of 7.2 seconds, this is only 3 seconds, and it's too short when you apply the curse for the boss. So just keep 800 curse and get rid of all of the gems. Like I said before, we need to get 100 critical hit chance on the flicker strikes. So for me it's okay, I can reach it because I have staff which is a sinister quarterstaff, and it have a lot of critical hit chance, but you don't need to have 15 like that. You can reach 100 without that, but I will show you how. Instead of taking this one, you can take these two nodes here to get 20% more critical hit chance. You can take maybe a Jewel Emerald with critical hit chance for attacks. For the moment it's good, so it will give you more critical hit chance. Here I have 5% more, but it's not needed. And you can maybe, on your amulet, take Storm Charge like I had before, which give you 20% more critical hit chance and 40% increased elemental damage. So that was the one I used, but now I don't use that anymore because I have 100 critical hit chance and I have a lot better. I use this one. 45 increased critical damage bonus, bro, that's insane. Firstly, it's more powerful, and more because of this huge bonus, we have a downside. 10% increased mana cost of skills. But for us, it's good, it's better. Why? Because on Flicker Strikes, with this gem, skill mana cost is converted to life cost and give you extra physical damage. So if we have 10% more mana cost, Flicker Strike will cost 10% more life and we will do more extra physical damage. So this is better for us to take this, and we have 10 strange, so 3 lines which are very good for us. That's perfect. The perfect skill to get on your amulet, and it costs not a lot, so that's good. Finally, like I said before, I take a Megalomaniac. I go here to take this Jewel, which costs just 4 points, and I have Unstable Bound. That's what I wanted before. This gives you volatility and extra cost damage. So basically, when you consume your minions here, you stack volatility, and when the timer ends, I can stop here if you want, and when it's end, I take 2070 physical damage, and it gives me 27% more extra cost damage. So you just stack volatility before the boss, and just when you will fight the boss, at the end you consume a last skeleton, you make all your buffs, this explode, and now you have 10 seconds of extra cost damage. So that's very powerful. It can go up to whatever you have in shield, so for me it's like 76% extra cost damage if I stack a lot of volatility, so that's a lot of extra cost damage, so that's huge. On my Megalomaniac I have Tempered Mind, but that's not the best possible choice. To be honest, if I can take Unstable Bound and Lust for Power, I will be very happy, because to get here it costs for us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and that 5 points can be used to get another jewel here, which is a lot better. So for the moment, that's it for the passive tree. And when you reach 100 critical hit chance, you can put your extra points, like maybe here in critical damage bonus or something else, and you can, after reaching 100 critical hit chance, max your critical damage bonus. Finally, I found that there is something a bit strange with the Flicker Strikes. Instead of all other monk skills, elemental skills, the thing is, Stormwave or other elemental skills convert 80% of physical damage to lightning damage. And by the way, you lose a bit of damage if you have high physical damage quarterstaff, and it's less efficient than have elemental flat damage and increase elemental damage with attacks, like this one. But if you take a very high physical damage quarterstaff for Flicker Strike, this will not convert your physical damage. You will have a lot more physical damage, and by this way you can scale a lot more and gain a lot more DPS. And if you have a quarterstaff with a lot of physical damage, you don't need anymore to have increased physical damage with attacks, because it will be a small part of the damage and the main part will be physical damage. I just show you with this one. If I put this staff instead of my actual staff, I will lose DPS on my Stormwave. Okay, because there is no elemental damage with attacks and there is a lot more physical damage. But if I put it instead of my actual one, I will gain damage on my flicker strikes. You see? So that's because here there are a lot more physical damage. This line is less important on the flicker strikes if you take a staff with a lot more physical damage, and you will scale more DPS with a lot of physical damage, like I showed you, than with other skills. So maybe if you search for good stuff, you can take stuff with a lot of elemental damage, and if you take a lot of elemental damage, take this line because it's very good. But if you find the stuff with increased physical damage, add physical damage to attack, and you have a big number here, maybe you can just take another line of flat damage and forget this line. You will have less DPS on Stormwave, but your flicker strike will be insane. So that's what I found. And by this way, if you take a quarterstaff with a lot of physical damage, you can forget this spell because it will apply to only a small part of the DPS. And I am thinking to put, instead of this one, Sniper Marks, which is here, and which will give you 74% increased critical damage bonus. So I am making tests, and it depends on your weapon and the situation, but I will do some try, and in the future I will maybe change, or I will tell you what is better. So that's all for the changes. I will do a quick recap for people who didn't saw my first video, but if you didn't understand it well, my build or the way I use it, like maybe have more skills here, because a lot of people ask me, and I will do a detailed walkthrough after, a detailed demo and how to use it, so maybe you can skip to this part and have a look if you are not used to it, because this build is a little bit complex, I understand, so you can go to this chapter. So guys, if you don't see my first video, I will show you how you have to know. First, I will show you the gems. I will pass faster on it because you can see it on Mobalytics. If you want, I show you here, but you can pause the video if you need to know what I put here. Here, it doesn't matter. The gems are here to swap easily when I have to swap. This is for the mapping part, to clear a lot faster, and this is for making a lot of more DPS, this one too. But I don't use it when I'm mapping for boss because they are weak. I just swap this gem for the Uber version of Arbiter of Ash or something like that. You will see with your DPS if you need to swap something, but for me, I just swap when I have to do Gzecht in maximum difficulty or Arbiter of Ash. For 90% of the time I just keep it, and that's good for boss. So we have Atalus Bloodletting. If you don't have enough to buy it, because I saw that the price is a lot more expensive than before, you can just put Overextend or Close Combat 2 instead, and it will be good. Ancestral Call 2, Perpetual Charge, Eternate Charge, and Hit and Run. This one is very, very important to get a lot more skill speed, so if you have to put more DPS, take out this one. After we have Herald of Thunder, Longshot 2, Elemental Armament, Bounty 2, Elemental Focus, and Overreach. Sacrifice here to consume your minions. When you change with the scepter, you have your minions, and you use Profane Ritual here to consume them. You just use it for like Gzecht, Arbiter of Ash, or something where there are no corpses around the boss area and you cannot consume corpses, so you have to summon your minions and consume them. So there are a few situations when you have to use it, maybe when boss has multiple phases, because when you use your flicker strikes, you lose your charge, and if the boss gain the life another time, you have to kill it another time, so you will have to consume your minions, so that's when you use sacrifice. if you don't have to use it, just keep Herald of Ash with Magnified Area. Convalescence is here to regen energy shield. We have Life Flask to regen our life, but for the energy shield, we just use Dispel. We press X, and for me it's X, and it launches the regeneration. It can be interrupted. We can press it 2 times. The cooldown is 38 seconds, so you have to be careful. When you see that your shield is a bit low, you go away and you use it. We have Prolonged Duration 2, Rapid Casting 2, Cooldown Recovery 2, and Second Wind 2. Here we have Charge Regulation to give more critical hit chance, and with charges, sometimes we have Frenzy Charge or Endurance Charge, we have more defenses or more skill speed, so that's perfect. Profane Ritual to consume minions like I showed you, or corpses around the map when you need more charges than Reaper Invocation gives you. So we have Charge Profusion 2, Rapid Casting 2, Overabundance 2, Overabundance 1, sorry, Unleash, and Compressed Duration. If you want, you can put Mobility instead of one of these, but I prefer this combo. Mobility is here to, with Mobility you can move by using Profane Ritual, but I prefer to have this one. Storm Wave with Upheaval 2, Elemental Armament 2, Rapid Attacks 2, Super Critical and Pinpoint Critical. Just look to have 100% critical hit chance when you have charges. So I showed you, you just change, sacrifice, consume your minions, and now you can see that we have 100% critical hit chance. We have Charge Staff with Prolonged Duration 2, Cooling Strike 2, Potent Exposure, Lightning Exposure, and Shock. After we have Reaper Invocation, Profane Ritual. Don't forget to put it level 9, because if you take Profane Ritual at a higher level, it will cost more mana, so take it at the lowest level possible. Charge Profusion 2, Overabundance 1, Compressed Duration 2, and Unleash. We have Infernal Cry, Second Wind 2, Raging Cry, and Enraged Warcry 2. And this one is only for like Uber Arbiter of Ash, or when you have to max out your DPS, you don't use it, but if you want to use it to max your DPS, it's here. How does it work? I take this out and I replace this one, because we don't need this for bosses, and this is ready to go. I made this by taking another Unset Ring, and I put Elemental Weakness in the new slot. I take out the Unset Ring and it's stuck here. We can't use it, but it's here. So it's better because this is not in our inventory. Finally, someone asked to me how I go to 100 critical hit chance on my Flicker Strike, and we saw that he didn't put quality on his gem. So don't forget to put the quality, because it's 20% more critical hit chance, and it will help you to get 100%. You cannot reach it if you don't put the quality on it, so don't forget to put it. So for bossing, like I showed you, you take Sacrifice instead of Herald of Ash, and you can put this 3 gem and this one instead of all these gem to get the more DPS possible. And when you have to launch your Flicker Strike, because of momentum, you need to be at more than 2 meters. So you make a dodge and you launch your Flicker Strikes, and the bonus of DPS will be applied. For the bossing, if you want the full setup, you take Death Boots with 15 critical damage bonus per power charge. If you can't afford it, you take 12, that's good. Now for the gear. By taking this shield, you will have max rage faster, and you can use... Here I cannot because there is no one around me, but you can use 3 times the Infernal Cry instead of 2, and you will be full rage. So that's a lot better with this shield. For the scepter, you don't need anything. For the staff, if it's hard for you to get 100 critical hit chance, take a Sinister, because by default they have 11.5% critical hit chance, so it's easier to reach a high number. Take plus 7 melee skills if you can, critical hit chance, here you can take critical damage bonus. If you cannot, attack speed can be good. And for prefixes, if you take physical damage and you have a lot more physical damage, don't take increased elemental damage with attacks and take another line of flat damage like lightning or something else. And if you have only elemental damage like here, you can take increased elemental damage with attacks, because this line is important when you make a lot of elemental damage. The best DPS in this league are took from DESC runes, gain 5% of extra elemental damage with attacks. This not cost a lot. The rune is Sakawar's Rune of the Sky, and you can buy it for 35 Exalted Orb. So you put this and you're ready to go. For the helmet, if you can take one with +1 to maximum power charges, it's a lot better to have more charges and do more DPS, flicker longer. But if you cannot find a headset with a lot of energy shield and good resistances with this corruption, just wait to have more money and just take a helmet without the corruption. For the amulet, take the more level of melee skills you can. Take 50 spirits, you need 50, not 49, you need 50, and if you cannot reach 50 here, you can take solar amulet, which will give you here between 7 to 15 more spirits. So here you can go down and maybe take 40 spirits. You have to get a total of 50 on your amulet. Take increase maximum energy shield, because it's very important for us. And for the rest, maybe mana, and here critical chance, critical damage bonus if you can, but for me, I have this one for the moment. For the installation, you can take, if you have enough critical chance, Barbaric Strange, because it's the more powerful you can for this build. The mana increase, it's better for us because Flicker Strike will do a lot more damage with Atalui's Split Glating, but if you can reach 100 critical chance, just take Storm Charge and you're good. For the ring, take Unset Ring to get one more slot, and just try to get a lot of resistances on your rings. Attributes are less important in this league, so try to get more resistances as possible. Here I have very good resistances, so it's good. And at the top, just take flat damage like this, adds lightning damage, adds physical damage. Here evasion and increased lightning damage are not good, but I have not a perfect stuff, so that's okay. And we have this ring. Just try to have a lot chaos resistances. For me it's very bad. I have barely not resistances of chaos. I will change it, but if you don't have any jewel or any gloves with life on kill, you will take here recover maximum life on kill. For the gloves, try to get as much damage as you can, so take the +2 melee skills. If you can, there is a corruption with +1 melee skills too, but it's very rare to get +2, +1 and the rest, so try to get +2 here. Increase attack speed and critical damage bonus, that are the best suffixes. And for the prefixes, try to get 3 flat damage like this and you will be okay. Here you take Ingenuity. I like to take a corruption with like fire resistance or attributes or what I'm missing, because it's better than having maybe 34% instead of 30. This belt is good to fix what you're missing with the corruption. And for the boots, just take movement speed like 20 or 25, and the more energy shield as you can, and the more resistances. This line increase effect of socketed items is not needed. This helped me to get this bonus and this number of energy shield, but it costs more, so you don't need it. And you need a body armor with the more energy shield as you can and the more resistances as you can. So that's it for the stuff. You will need a mana flask with 68% to 70% increased charge. because when you use Ambrosia, it will consume your charges to get extra lightning damage. So the more charges you have, the more lightning damage you will do. This is why you need 68 to 70% increased charges. And for the life flask, I take one with instant recovery, because when you use the flicker strikes, your life will go down really quick. So sometimes you will have to apply a little bit of life and it will go instant up. And maybe if you are low shield, you can spam it to stay full life and don't die. So that's the perfect life flask for me. And for the charms, I put stun charm, freeze charm, and stunning charm. So that's all for the gear. Now for the jewel, you have Megalomaniac with Unstable Bound, and if you can, Lust for Power, or maybe this one like I had. Anything else which will give you increased critical chance, like this one. But you know, this is very endgame jewel. It will cost a lot, so for the beginning, don't worry about that. Just take maybe Emerald with critical chance. Maybe take this one, which costs like 2 divines or 3 divines, and this will give you possibility to take points here, and you can take here 3 times 25 increased attack damage, so you have 75 increased attack damage. So that's very powerful. In the future, you can take here Lost Time Diamond to get extra damage by all the points you're taking here. And that's all for the jewel. Maybe after you will take +2 or +1 or +3 level of Flicker Strike skills, but it costs a lot too, so for the moment just take Emerald or what you can afford. For the passive tree, like I said before, take the more critical chance as you can instead of critical damage bonus, and when you reach 100 critical chance you can begin to take critical damage bonus instead. So here you take critical, here is energy shield for free, so that's good. You take all the charges here, here and here, critical chance here, and you go to take energy shield and critical chance here, energy shield and recharge rate here. Here we have 28, 30. This is very important, it's 60, 75. So you go here too, and here you can take this one if you don't have enough to don't be stunned. This is to not get stunned by enemies. Here you can take here critically chance, not this one but this one. Here is for the 10% chance to not remove charges, so your flicker strikes will be longer. And here you take this one because it will give you 40% increase of elemental damage by a world. So for the moment this is good to take, and we are not far to get this jewel after. For the ascendancies, you take Unbound Avatar. For the boss, when you are at the boss, you press this skill, and during the 10 seconds you have 40% more elemental damage. You take this to in your elemental resistances of enemies, and you take this to have elemental expression and do more damage on enemies when you make a critical, so barely all the time. For the leveling, the gem Flicker Strike is at level 13. You cannot use it before level 52. And to be honest, you will need the power charges, you will need DPS, you will need Reaper invocation, and a lot of things that are not good to use Flicker Strikes when you are in campaign. So for the campaign and to reach the end game, you use Tempest Fury for the bosses with Tempest Bell. You put the bell and you spam the boss with Tempest Fury and a lot of speed attack on this one. And you just clean the level with Storm Wave. Or maybe you can play with Killing Palm and Falling Thunder, because this combo is good for the beginning. Or you can just start using your monk with a bow, and when you can have Storm Wave, you just switch to a staff, use it with Tempest Bell and Tempest Fury. And when you arrive at endgame and you are maybe level 65 or 70, you switch to Flicker Strikes and you will be good. For the passive tree, when you're in the leveling, just take the more critical as you can, the more DPS as you can. Maybe take this, maybe this, and maybe you don't go too far here. You start from going here, here, maybe here, after you're going here, and when you have that, I think you will be at the start of the end game, and you will be able to go for the Flicker Strikes, and here you will take this, this, and this, and after you take this, this, and this. So this is the order. So now I will show you how I use this build. I will put an easy map for the beginning. Up. Like I showed you before, you will not see when I press Profane Ritual, Convalescence and Reaper Invocation because it's in this sub-menu, but they are on my mouse, X and my mouse. So you will need to go in settings, input and keybind here to get all the skills on your bar. I recommend if you move with your mouse like me to not get anything here, because if you have this quarterstaff strikes, it will make hit and it will stop you when you are moving, so that's very bad. So first, you just kill enemies with Storm Wave. When you kill enemies, Reaper Invocation is loading. So when I kill enemies, you can see that Reaper Invocation is loading. Here I have 2 charges of use. I can go up to 5 charges. So if I use it now, it will make Profane Ritual used 2 times. So it's very fast. If I kill 1, maybe 2, 3 enemies, I can use it. You see? So you don't have to worry. Press it very often. When you do an attack, you can press it. There is no cooldown, and you can see I can move, I can do all I want, and I press it all the time. It gives me all the time the charges I need. So when you have enough charge, you can put charge staff. This will empower your staff, and you can take more charges. You can take it with Profane Ritual, or just continue to kill enemies with Storm Wave to get Reaper Invocation. And now I have maximum charges, I can Flicker Strike. So I will show you. You can flick in the mobs. Here there is an abyss. I will maybe ending my Flicker Strikes inside a lot of mobs. So to not die, I will do a dodge. When I dodge, I press Reaper Invocation to consume all the corpses around me and get full charges. And when my dodge ends, I launch another Flicker Strikes, because it's the best way to get out. It's just attack another time. So I will show you. Here, Flicker Strikes. Oh, there is no enemies. I continue. Up, I dodge, press Reaper Invocation and Flicker Strike. Dodge, Reaper Invocation, Flicker Strike. Well, here there wasn't a lot of enemies. I will try to maybe open the breach so you can see when you're surrounded the best way to not die. And that's why hit and run is very important, because you can launch your Flicker Strike very fast and not be stunned. So I take my charges, Reaper Invocation, I am full, Flicker Strikes, Reaper Invocation, Flicker Strike, dodge, Reaper Invocation, Flicker Strike. You see? And all the time I press Reaper Invocation to get my charges after a Flicker Strike. Well, here there is not a lot of mobs. I will try to go fast. Maybe here. This is not a critical situation. Here you can see, up, dodge, Reaper Invocation and another Flicker Strike. That's the best way to survive. Dodge, Reaper, invocation, flicker strikes. You saw here, I was surrounded, and because of hit and run I can launch fast another flicker strikes and I'm not die. So that's why this gem is very important for you. If I take too much damage, I am seeing that, oh, my shield is going down, maybe I will die. I go out and I press X to run convalescence, and you see my shield is going up. So that's the way you will regen your energy shield when you're mapping. You can see that when you use the flicker strikes, your life go down, but if you have the life on kill, you regen. Sometimes you flicker strikes and you don't make enough kill to regen your life. Here it's barely regenerated, like this. Here I don't regen my life. You see I'm not full life, so here you can just put a charge of life flask, like here, and you will be full life. Don't be afraid to maybe be on low life. I will try to show you. I'm low life, but if I launch a flicker strikes, it will just don't work because the game will understand that I will die if I launch it. Look, you see I cannot launch it. So don't be afraid, you will not die by using your flicker strikes. You will just be stuck, and you have to put a life flask, and now you can launch another time with flicker strikes. So I think that's it. There is no more to say for the mapping, so I will just go for a boss and show you how can I beat it. I just wanted to show that you have to be careful with hit and run, because when you use flicker strikes you have to move 10 meters to use it another time, and sometimes you will be maybe surrounded, or you will launch a flicker strikes when you are not far from enemies, and the flicker strikes will fail because the monster is dead or something like that. It failed, and here I launched it, I didn't move, and I cannot launch another flicker strikes. Its grade here can be used because I didn't move 10 meters. So when you use a flicker strikes, if you cannot use it, it's because you have to move. And now I move, and you see I can use it. So I will show you how to kill it without changing gems, because it's not needed for my boss. You don't have to put sacrifice. I will show you how I can kill it without this one. So there are a lot of corpses around the entrance, so I just consume with Profane Ritual. I take Charged Staff, I consume more corpses, and you see the timer is very long, so I have 30 seconds to go. I take a last charge and I go. The boss is here, Unbound Avatar, Warcry, and what? It failed. Okay. He's dead. He interrupted my flicker strikes with his spell or something, but I didn't lose my charge. There is a world where your flicker strikes fail. I don't know why, but sometimes it can happen. So if it happened for you, you can just use Storm Wave to kill it, or if you have the ability, you can just make that fast, and now you can surround your minions, take charge fast and kill it. So that's it for map boss. For endgame content, like Arbiter of Ash, you can see here I take all my charges, I go around him, and I let the volatility explode just when I'm ready to fight him. Here I put the curse, I do 3 times Infernal Cry, and I flicker on it. I will show you another time. You really need to be careful at the top left of the timer for the volatility to get at the right moment for when the fight is starting, because here you see you have 10 seconds left. Here you can see the curse is during only 3 seconds because it was before I removed the support gems on elemental weakness. So when I hit the boss, the curse isn't applied on him, but if you get rid of these 2 support gems, the curse will be long for 7 seconds, so it will be okay and you will have the time to flick him. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I have more ideas to upgrade this build, but I will show you when it's done and it's tested. If you have ideas, you can share in comments. I will go for holidays for a week, so I will not be here, but when I come back, I will continue to make improvement to the build, upgrade it, and finally we will have a very, very, very strong build for this league, and we will do all the content of the game. Maybe not the simulacrum, but you know, this is because there is no corpse around you, you cannot flicker strikes, and it's very hard. In the last league I was able to do it just with Stormwave, but it's not easy, so we will see. But for the moment, that's all. Leave a comment, stay tuned, and see you guys.